Alright, it's time for some more Leetcode practice. I'm definitely skipping number 37 because that is Sodoku solver. And I barely even know how to do Sodoku, let alone write a solver, so I'd be brute forcing it. And nobody wants to watch me brute force a 9 by 9 grid. Count and say. Alright. Count and say. A sequence of digit strings defined by their... Oh no, recursion. I hate recursion. I love that all these Leetcode questions involve recursion when you probably use it like once a year at work. Alright, a sequence of digit strings defined by the recursive formula count say 1 equals 1. It's the way you would say the digit string from count and say n minus 1, which is what? What? To determine how you say a digit string, split it into the minimal number of the substrings. Right, the minimal number. See, everybody gets what that means. Jesus, the people who wrote these. Alright, minimal number of substrings such that each substring contains exactly one unique digit. Then for each substring, say the number of digits, then say the digit. Finally, concatenate every said digit. Okay, so the saying in conversion for 33222251, 2 3s, 3 2s, 1 5 1 1. Okay. So it's 2 3 3 2 1 5 1 1. That's so asinine, but okay. I mean, it's a neat question. I give them that. It's it's different. It's not binary search, so I'll give them that one. Yeah. All right. What's weird here is that you're clearly processing the number as a string. Why do you even take an integer as the argument then if you're just going to convert it to string in order to process it? Are they always going to be consecutive? Let's see, example 2, where there's a 1, then a 2, then 1. So you should say input n equals 4. Output is 1, 1. I don't even understand what this is. Okay, so if I input the number 4, it's supposed to say 1, 2, 1, 1. 1. Why? The way you would say the digit string from count and say n minus 1, which is then converted into a different... This is such an asinine explanation. I still don't understand what the fuck they're talking about. Here, let me just spin up some test cases and try to figure out what the fuck they're talking about here. Alright, and 2, 3, 4. There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and see what it's supposed to be for 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. A blank return. Right. So for 1 we say 1. For 2 we say 1 1. For 3 we say 2 1. For 4 we say 1 2 1 1. I just keep going because I still don't get it. 5 6. Alright. Try this again. Okay, 5 is 1 1 1 2 2 1. And 6 is 3 1 2 2 1 1. No. No, you've evaded me still. The way you would say the digit string from count and say n minus 1. I mean, I can understand 1. And then 2, I just don't get. The leap to 2 as the confusing bit to me so far. Split it into the minimal substring and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Count and say of n is the way you would say the digit string from count and say n minus 1. So, like, you would say 1 by saying 1, 1, right? Okay, so 2 is 1, 1. Alright, so then 3 is based on the case 2 result. The case 2 result, which is 11, so you would say 2 1s. So it should be 2, 1. Okay. Then 4, based on the case 3 result, it should be 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay. Then 5, which is based on the case 4 result, should be 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1s. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1s. Okay. I get it. I do. Yeah. Well. All right. I don't think that there's any mathematical. I mean, you just be very clever to come with a mathematical way to figure out what n minus 1th, the n minus 1th sequence is supposed to read. So I think for every given n, you have to go through all of them down to the very first case in order to get the answer. So I think you do have to be, you have to use recursion to solve the recursive formula here. I don't think there's any way around that. So if n equals 1, it's return 1. Else. And then I'm assuming you won't get a 0. Yeah, it's between 1 and 30. Okay, so then otherwise you have to recurse and then do the counting weirdness that needs to be done there. Alright, so let's string, what do I want to call it? Let's just call it S. Count and say n minus 1. I'm going to declare it up here and then return it. Nah, I'll declare it in there and then return it in there. That'll do me. It's only 2 options here. It's either 1 or it's not. 1's your terminating condition. Alright, so S equals count and say minus 1. So let's say I'm in generation 2 here. What do I want to do? So I've got my 1, and now I want to loop through the characters in the string. Now usually converting to character array is marginally faster, but we're only dealing with like the scale of 1 to 30, so I'm not even going to try to make little optimizations like that. I'm just going to do the old looperoonie. So you want to count how many occurrences of a character happen in a row. Right, okay, so int count equals 1. It's always at least one of the characters. And then it's, so how many, string out equals blank. We'll just start like that. Okay, so you want to count how many consecutive ones that you have. So you want to scan ahead while the characters are valid. So we want to go while s.char at I, well, first, while I plus 1 is less than s.length, and s.char at I plus 1. I think you could just use equals for char comparisons. I'll actually save the value of it. Char c equal s.char at I. And then while the next character is the same, we're just going to continue to advance the count, and we'll also advance our for loop because we actually have no reason to leave it there. And then when this is not true, we'll go ahead and concat to our actually when this loop is done, we'll concat to our output string. So then it'll be out plus equals. And then how do we express that? So it's the count and then the character that we found. So it's going to be count and then plus the character itself. I think we can do this without any other type conversion. So let's see if that's good enough. I wager it will be close, but I think I might need to do some more character casting wizardry. So I outputted 1 instead of 1, 1. Here I outputted 1, 1. Oops, yeah, I just outputted every time. I forgot to actually return out. So that would help. Let's see what I got here. So here I returned 50. 50! That just seems completely inaccurate. Alright. I got s.char I. Surprising that I got either 5 or 0 that way. So let's just see what am I getting here? What's going on? Char plus C repeated and then plus count. Let's see what it is that I'm getting. I think it's probably just character conversion. This is one of Java's disadvantages for sure, because if it was a language like JavaScript, it'd be a lot easier to convert these. Char 1 repeated once was actually correct. Yeah. So what's happening is that when I'm doing this concatenation, it's not getting the right thing because I'm adding an integer to a string. It's not parsing that correctly. So char count car equals, what is it? Character dot, would it be for digit? I think that could work fine. I think we did this last time, actually. I think I had to convert character from a number. So there was a function built in that was good for that. What was it? So get numeric value. The Roman numeral 50 returns a value of 50. Oh, interesting. Get numeric value count. Yeah, this should work. Oh, this is the other way around. That's to get the, okay. So I want a character from a numeric value. So is it for digit? Let's try for digit. Count. And then what do I have to supply for radix? Huh. What do I have to supply for radix? Would it be minradix? Minradix? Let's try character.minradix. I don't want to have to build a, like a, what do you call it, a conversion thing or something. It would be annoying. Stupid Java, making character conversion from integer a complicated affair. Come on now. Wow, that's wrong. Care 1 repeated 90. What the hell? Why would it add a 9 and an 8? Goofy. Maybe I don't even need to do this. Maybe it's just the way that I concatenate the string. If I do this, will that force it to treat them as two strings instead of adding their value? No, now it added dash u. What? Stuck with my original count. Let's see. Should be able to convert the integer now that I added that double quote to force it to two-string everything. Yeah, that's good. Alright, lovely. So I don't need that, at least. That's nice. Even though it's still jank. Alright, so I have one wrong answer for 6. Let's get rid of this stuff and then see what's up. I'm going to actually print the state of out there, too. And then we'll debug from there. It is surprising that I got the first 5 test cases and not the last one. Let's see, I got Care 1. Let's print out what result I'm interpreting first. Up here. Now interpreting plus s, so then I can see which iteration of the recursion I'm on and skip the older steps. Okay. So going to do a print line at the end so that there's some nice bloody spacing and they're not all jammed together. Alright. So we are interpreting 111221, which is the correct answer for 5, right? 111221, right. Okay, so in interpreting the 111221, that should be 3 1s. Character 1 repeated 3 times, which is correct. 3 1s. And then we have 2 2s, but it says character 2 repeated 4 times, which is incorrect. So it got the number of repetitions wrong. And that is obviously because I forgot to reset the count like a fucking dumbass. Of course. Okay, so when we're done with the loop, obviously we reset the count back to 1 in preparation for the next generation because we got the count set to 1 up there. And then when we finish counting how many 1s we have or whatever, now when we get to the 2s, you want to start fresh. Of course. Of course, of course, a horse, of course, of course, of course, of course, a horse. A horse, a horse, of course, a horse. A horse, a horse, of course, a horse. And let's see how we did. I think that's it, actually. Output limit exceeded, so I guess mine was too slow, down low, too slow. Or actually, I think I just probably exceeded the amount of console you're allowed to use. There's probably like a limit to how many outputs you can make, and my 30 deep one probably goes hard. Let's see. Yep, that was it. Alright, my performance blows! What is this? 29%? Why am I so bad? But I did finish it, so, you know, I'll take that Google job now. Thank you very much. Is there actually a mathematical solution for finding the minus n minus 1th? I wonder. I wonder. Any solution that involves string concatenation is usually going to be on the slow end, so the fact that I have this string concat here is probably what's really killing me. It's a lot faster to use string builder, so that would have helped. I've got a while loop there that skips pretty healthily, so I don't think that's the problem. I'm not looping anything twice as far as I can tell. Gosh, is it really just that string concat? How do you use string builder? Let's string builder SB equals new string builder, something like that. Contains a string builder with no characters in it, capacity of 16 characters, seems reasonable. SB dot, and then I want to append count sb.append c. Bet you guys never did string builder in college. Why would you? It's completely useless unless you're trying to optimize for string performance. So the concatenation operation, this guy, anything where you're combining strings together is very slow. It actually has to make a whole new string, forget the memory to the two old strings, put them both into the new string. So it's like, it's multiple memory operations. Because Java generally, not always, that's generalization, but Java generally, when you make a string, makes just enough room for that string in that variable, because you never know how long a string is going to be. It could be any length of characters. So that's an optimization they do. Every time you make a new string, you are putting something on the garbage collector because the old string has to be thrown away, the new one has to be put there, and then the new one has to take the old one's reference, or the reference updates to the new one, you can say. But anyway, it's mad slow, and string builder avoids this because it's more array list-like. It takes it takes a capacity and then it grows to accommodate. It just has one character array reference under its hood that can expand. Anyway, it's just designed, it was built for fast concatenation in mind rather than, for incredibly slow concatenation, like regular string. So I want to do string builder up here, actually, because I'm appending it each time. And then, how do I get my thing out of there? I don't remember. How do you actually extract your string from string builder? Which is a pretty expensive operation, but here I'll be doing it once instead of every time I append. These are all append functions. How do I get the string out of there? Is it just set them equal, or what do I do? Oh, toString? That can't be it, right? It's not. ToString wouldn't extract the string inside. Return a string containing the characters in the same order as this sequence. The length will be the length of this sequence. Oh. Okay. Well, that seems reasonable. So, then I will not need that at all. I will just need to return SB toString. Oops, not here. It's in place of out. Right there. Like that. Yep. Okay. And I'm going to comment out all of my print lines here as well, since obviously I can't do those. or I overwhelm their little console. Okay, let's try that. Good old string builder. Looks like everything's the same. Let's see if that beats the performance metrics. It'd be hilarious if it was even slower. Oh my god, I demolished it! Beat 99%. Only 1% of you fools knew how string builder worked. Not that I did, but I was able to figure it out with the help of some small context clues and being able to read the Java doc. If I get into one of these interviews and they go, "Oh, you can't read the Java doc, you just have to remember it," I'll be like, "Peace, no job for me." I don't remember shit. I read the Java doc for system.out.println half the time I use it. Alright, anyway, I crushed it. My memory performance still at like the 50th percentile, but I am happy with it. This was a good performance and nice and quick, but man, this question was weird. Let me look one solution up. Let's see. Let's look up the top one. I'm excited to see what could be done that was more straightforward. Hey, oh my god, it's like an exact copy of mine. Holy shit. Yo. What is this? This is exactly like mine. This is sick. Um, they did a for loop instead of invoking it recursively. You know what? When you invoke it recursively, you do use up a lot of stack memory because every recursive invocation has to go on the stack. So I guess in memory performance, this one probably wins because it doesn't use recursion. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same as mine, which is probably why performance-wise they're equivalent, because performance-wise there's no disadvantage to recursion, really. Yeah, this is nice. They also don't have that awkward while loop inside of a for loop that like skips indexes that I have. I don't really like that pattern very much. It has kind of a code smell to me because you have the for loop that's supposed to be incrementing I, but you're just doing extra increments within the body. I don't mind it terribly. It just gets confusing when it becomes bigger, like when you're going forward and backward with the index that the for loop is tracking inside of its body. It becomes very hard to reason about which index you're at and why. So I kind of like that they were able to pull that off without having that inner while loop. But on the other hand, they need to do this s.caret on every index, whereas my solution is able to do it just once when the sequence starts, and then well, actually, I actually need it as a comparator. So I'm still doing it every index. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. And I guess they don't have to do this check. This is one extra check that I have to do. They only have to do it once inside of the body of the loop. So I would say these are comparable overall. I don't like the tail do it one more time after the loop is over functionality. I like that mine does everything within the body and then terminates. So both solutions are nice, but I'm gonna go with mine because I wrote it, you know. Okay, well, I guess that's it for today. Awesome. Knocked it out of the park. See you next time.